Hi everyone! So we're here at Alice Lake Provincial Park and we're just here for a quick overnight trip. And we will share this trip with you in this video. And also we had a little issue with Finch.
That we'll talk about, yeah.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoy this video.
So this was the first day without rain for several weeks here in BC. So we decided to head out for a quick overnight trip to Alice Lake Provincial Park to take advantage, I guess, of what was a reasonably pleasant day. It was supposed to start raining heavily the next morning. We had a late start, and so when we arrived at Alice Lake, it was quite late in the afternoon. We also had to stop and sort of reposition Finch during part of the trip. Being late March, all the sites were actually still first come, first serve, which was nice. But the only sections that were actually open were powered sites, and that worked out fine for us because it was still getting close to freezing at night. So we plugged in with our electric heater and had a sort of warm and toasty evening as a result. After we settled into our site, we did go for a short walk down to Alice Lake. We didn't have time to do the normal, four-lake trail walk or to go for a paddle, but we just walked down to the main beach, and it was still a pleasant, peaceful sort of little short trip. Even just walking through the campground is quite nice. And we were lucky enough to get a nice view of the snow-covered Garibaldi Mountain in the distance. That's a mountain actually in the past I've climbed several years ago and really enjoyed that trip. So Alice Lake Park is actually, it's really, you feel quite West Coast. You've got luscious ferns and some undergrowth that's green and very pretty. We also found skunk cabbage starting to bud, so that's really the first sure sign of spring. So after our short walk, we headed back to the van to check on Finch and to start dinner. Finch just saw a couple of dogs walk by. Something about just starting a fire. Unfortunately, we forgot to bring potatoes that we could bake. Next time. Hello, Mr. Finch.
So I'm just making one-pot pasta tonight. It's penne pasta, and I've added some green peas, and I'm going to add some chickpeas for protein, and Nona vegan sauce. So it's a carbonara style sauce, which is vegan, so I'm just going to add that after the water evaporates. To keep stirring it so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Jordan's going to get microwave steamed salmon as well, additional protein. That's probably good enough.
Well, that looks a bit goopy.
It'll look better when it's stirred up. Old Bay seasoning. And we decided to actually prep it in foil and put it in the fire. because that's what Gordon prefers.
Okay, from House Sound Brewing, Guava Donkey, a tropical pale ale.
Yeah. We tried it.
Perfect for spring at Alice Lake. Mickey's worried it's getting shaken around too much.
No, we're good.
There we go. I can hear the geese. They obviously want some. All right, what's for dinner?
We have penne pasta, one pot pasta with some green peas and some chickpeas for protein, and I've got the vegan carbonara sauce. So,
I'm just about to get my salmon out of the fire.
yeah,
We didn't bother with a tablecloth today because we were just in a hurry and too hungry. So we just wiped down the table.
a little bit.
All right, bon appetit.
Cheers. Refreshing. Okay, let's see if it's cooked.
Grand reveal. Great reveal.
Oh, maybe a little overcooked. Yeah, I think it's done. Yeah.
Most of it looks good, a little burned on the edges, but actually it looks quite tasty otherwise.
Yeah. That's it.
Very good.
Perfect.
It's cold out.
So Finch and I are just relaxing now. We've had our dinner outside and Finch is here. He's had a little bit to eat. His appetite's picked up a bit better. What had happened to Finch is that as we were heading over to our storage lot to pick up the van, he started to get the same sort of anxiety that he had last time. And as we headed out of Vancouver on the Sea to Sky Highway, where it's really windy, we noticed there was something wrong and we realized that he had actually gotten sick. When we pulled over, we had to clean out his carrier. It was a little bit stressful. And then I just carried him on my lap in his bed the whole way to the campground. And he was calm, so it was okay. Right now, he's cleaning himself. He seems okay. He's eaten a little bit. He's played a little bit. So he's good in the van. He just doesn't like us driving. So that seems to be the situation. He's quite a nervous cat. We didn't realize that, but I guess he is. So anyway, it's all ended well, and the only concern now is getting home tomorrow.
Try a slightly easier, I think, route back.
Gordon's doing the final review of the video we're going to post tomorrow.
Okay, Finch, you're going to come out? Oh. Yeah. Careful. No going under the van, even with your leash on. Hey, Mr. Finch. He had his first little walk outside on leash, but only stayed for a minute or two and wanted back in the van. First steps. Hey, Finch. Hey, Finch, look over here. You're all in my sleeping bag. I'll snuggle up. All right, Finch is back in the front seat, and I think he's intending to stay there, and he wants Mickey to ride in the back, I think. What do you think, Finch?
there, bud? You okay, Finch? You doing all right? Hopefully he is. So we are on our way home, and we just stopped by Porto Cove to give Finch a little break from the driving.
Yeah, he was actually quite good last night. He seemed to enjoy sleeping in the van. At one point, although he was up and playing at like 1 and 3, and of course I was up and playing at the same time. And then early this morning, I think about 5, we're sitting there and he squished in between our faces. And he just sat and purred and purred. But he seemed to enjoy the camping trip. And he was also interested in going outside, so I put him on leash and took him out this morning, and he was out for about 15 seconds and he wanted back in the van.
Yeah. So he did okay up to here, and he seems pretty relaxed now. We tried to keep him on my lap, but he wouldn't stay, so he actually curled up in his corner back there.
Where he sleeps, basically.
Yeah, and he's still there. I know he's a little anxious, I could tell. But so far he hasn't gotten sick again, so let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, so we're just going to head home and try and get him settled.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed our quick visit to Alice Lake, and if you did, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Doing okay, buddy? I think this is the spot for you when we're driving.